Hey there, I'm Jean De. I'm from Double Dash Studios, and I was the art director for Racket. Actually majored in graphical design back in 2010, but I always loved playing video games. I play video games practically all my life. When I was born, there was an Atari in my house already. Tranquilo, tranquilo. Sem problema, sem problema. Aqui porque tava esquisito.
Okay, now it seems to be working. Sorry guys, we're back. So yeah, just as a little of context, I'm gonna have to repeat myself here, but just because, you know, I've got it kind of screwed up the things. What do we have? Why am I not seeing the camera? What is going on with this? Huh. Okay. Huh. Alright, my camera is not working. So it seems it's gonna be just voice here. Because I'm not restarting this thing again. Why is this video not working? Okay, I have absolutely no idea why my video stopped working for no reason, but I'm gonna keep up with this. Let's just... Okay, it's gonna be a no video stream here. We're just gonna be playing. It might be even better if you think about it, because you're gonna be seeing the full game, full screen, and all of that. Okay, so forget about the video. Alright, so we're here. You might recognize my voice because you can see me now, but I'm Victor Mauscher, community manager and the game designer at Behold. And we normally use these live streams to show the I'm just gonna pronounce it in Portuguese because it's the way it is. Jande. And he's from Double Dash Studios, which, you know, they are the developers of this awesome game. And I'm gonna let him present himself again. Sorry for asking you to do that, but it's just that we kinda had some issues with the audio before. Okay, so who are you, Jande?
Oh, hello. Well, my name is Jean De. I'm from Double Dash Studios, and I was the art director for Racket.
Cool. So, you know, well, okay. So once again, how did you start making games? Like, how did you enter that market?
I was a kid. I always played video games. So I always loved video games, but actually developing video games always seemed like a very faraway dream. You know, something that you have to be someone from Japan or from the United States or whatever to work in that industry. But after I graduated, I graduated as I'm a graphics design major. But then I met a lot of people that were trying to work with video games, and actually during a video that I made that was very video game inspired, I started meeting a lot of people that wanted to work with video games and started participating in game jams, and that's from where I ended up meeting everyone from Double Dash.
So just to get this straight, so Double Dash was like it was born from a game jam, is that it?
Not exactly born from a game jam, but that's when we first started working together. Yeah, because we already met. I was friends with Pedro Tiers. He's Lucas Tiers' brother. Lucas Tiers is one of my associates, and from him we also met Kim Kaznovsky, and he's the other associate, and also Luisa Shimura, who is the other founder.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Then us four started working together, trying to create games, and eventually, I think the first major game that was a big changer for us four working together was Racket Boy. That was the first prototype for Sky Racket that we made.
Okay. Right, so that's awesome. You already told us a bit of like how you started working with the team and how you guys were formed, but like, yeah, can you explain a little bit more, like how's the, like, what's the story of the studio itself? I mean, you told us how you started working with it, but more in a like pretty basic, like totally from the start point of view, like how did Double Dash become a thing?
Well, it came from a lot of tries of trying to make different video games. As I said, we had a really big team. We were like a lot of people trying to study how to make video games, and we were trying to make, to create a video game together. There are just, a lot of interested people. But then some people just started to fall out, or started to be not so interested, or had to study, or had to work on something else, and
that's classic.
From that, and from that people were just leaving, and then we four, me, Lucas, Kim, and Luisa, we were the one that stuck, and we've been together ever since.
Yeah, that's just like I'm making a joke here, but that's just so classic in game development, especially when you're starting, finding people that will stick around doing things that normally at the start you don't have money to do stuff. Normally you don't have that many players to base your things. You don't get to see that many people playing the game, so it's pretty hard to stick around. I'm not blaming those that leave, because it's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, we've had like we had a little bit of a taste of success in the beginning, because we did back in 2012. We were working on a game called Super Stella S2. S2 as in the heart emote. And that game actually won a prize at SB Games.
Oh, awesome.
It got the People's Choice Award.
SB Games, just as a context, it's an event mainly focused on academic discussion, but it has a festival for indie games and Brazilian games, and it's an awesome event.
And after that, some people left, some people went to work with other things, and I believe a couple of years later, Luis, Lucas, and Kim, we were the one that stuck together. And I think you were talking about the classic story of indie companies. I think we went through all the classic phases because we worked each one in we worked remotely, and then we started working, meeting at Starbucks, and then we went to work at one of at Kim's place. Kim's place became our office for a couple of years. That was actually when we did the game jam that originated Sky Racket. And then we went to work at an office, like another company's office. We had a little bit of space there, and now we have our own office.
I see.
So we went through all the geographic transitions of an indie game developer company.
Awesome. And okay, so now what about Sky Racket? Can you like pitch the game quickly, just so people understand what I'm playing here? I think it's
Sure.
kind of clear to see, but since it's an unusual concept, I think it's good to just explain it a bit.
Sure. Sky Racket, it's the mixture of shoot 'em up and block breaker. Shoot 'em up games like R-Type or Gradius. Those games that you have a small ship firing a lot of enemies and dodging a lot of bullets. And block breakers are those games like Arkanoid and Breakout that you have a paddle. It's kind of like an evolution of Pong, like a single player Pong, where you control paddle and you have to ricochet this ball back and forth to break all the blocks. So Sky Racket came from the combination of these two classic genres.
And how did this become a thing? Like, where did this idea came from, and like, what's the story of the game?
Well, this idea actually was roaming around Lucas Tears' head. Lucas Tears is our game designer. The idea of a kid with a racket, whacking the enemy fire back at them, that was on his head already. But we always kind of talked about it and how we could make it work. But one day, talking about the idea of that game, the idea of combining shoot 'em up with a block breaker, using that as the mechanic of using the racket to whack the enemy's attacks, that came after. And one day we had this opportunity of being part of this game jam. It was a game jam by the site GameJolt. GameJolt.com. They did a game jam back in 2015 that was actually sponsored by PewDiePie, Markiplier, and Jacksepticeye. Back then they were already like big YouTube personalities. So we decided to take a risk. We had 72 hours to work on a game. The theme was arcade. So when we started brainstorming about a game, one of the games that came up was Racket Boy. Was a kid with a racket flying around, and we just thought that we could try using that mechanic that we talked about and try doing the game. And that's when we first started talking about how the game would look like, how the feel of the game would be. That's when we started looking at references like shoot 'em ups from the 80s and 90s, like Fantasy Zone and Parodius, that are very big influences for the visuals of the game and the whole feel of it. With cute enemies and very bright pastel colors. All of that came came from the first brainstorm game from the game jam.
So it was kind of a mix between like having that idea, you know, waiting for an opportunity, and the game jam itself that brought this opportunity in general.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's
because
awesome to have, it's not common to have such an opportunity, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that nowadays you kind of see a lot of, you know, indie games that are I mean, really good indie games that are originated by game jams.
True.
You got like Super Hot, for example, that was their case. But the thing about Racket Boy at the time was that this nonsense visual, this whole reference of nonsense games that we were getting, like Parodius and Fantasy Zone, and also we were watching a lot of Adventure Time back then. That helped a lot during development on those 3 days, on those 72 hours that we had, because we could just put anything in the game. So the first version had like flying cupcakes, and you know, we just didn't need to have sense. You know, I think that helped a lot, freeing our creativity.
Yeah, but I mean, you had a very strong static to make the game make sense. You know, that's like I feel like a lot of games that try to be chaotic and go for different themes and random stuff end up not having a visual good identity and thematic identity, but that fit so well here. Like it's like the color palette and all that kind of stuff. It really helps sell this randomness. It's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that we were very careful during development.
Oh gosh.
Because one of the things that is that with the game jam, the theme being arcade, we wanted to be very faithful. So we took a lot of care with the pixel art. We wanted the game to have this arcadey feel. You know, you just pick up and play. You don't learn skills during the game. It's all skill based, but the skill is from the player. You know, as long as you during your playthrough, you're gonna learn a lot of things because you're gonna get good on the game. I think that's something that it makes the game very approachable for a lot of people.
There's no mechanical progression, right? It's just a skill ceiling, and you just keep learning and getting better. Oh my god, it's so hard. Oh lord. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna die. Yeah, I'm dead. But it's okay. That's okay.
That's one of the main influences from shoot 'em ups. There, that's where we let loose the whole bullet hell aspects of shoot 'em ups on the bosses. Bosses in the game, they like fire a lot of things. That's when the game gets very chaotic.
Yeah, it does, but it's good. Like it's good to have that, and it's clearly thoughtfully implemented. You know, it's not. One thing again that we see people doing a lot is like coming up with shoot 'em ups that they feel like they don't understand the core of the shoot 'em up genre, and they just keep like shooting multiple stuff that makes no sense, and it's impossible to dodge or to react in any way, and that's clearly not the point here. Like that's not one thing that you feel when you're playing this game. Like it's very cohesive, and even myself, that I have to admit, like a little disclaimer here, I'm pretty bad at games, right? So even though I make games, I'm pretty bad at playing them. And if I'm being able to almost kill this boss, because I haven't yet, but if I'm being able to almost kill it, it's just because it's well implemented. You know, it's like I've been learning, and I'm actually being tested here, and things that are in my reach of skill, and it's awesome. I really enjoy it. Oh my god. And I'm gonna die just because I'm telling this. Just because I'm saying this.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
I believe this is a great merit of our game designer, Lucas, because he took the, I think he made this boss like very, he's large. He takes a lot of space from the screen, so almost every ball that you hit here is gonna hit him.
Yeah, it would be so infuriating if you couldn't like hit him at all, because it's yes, I did it. Oh, okay, good. That was awesome.
Nice.
Great.
And also you learned in the other level that you have to dodge the pink laser fire, and that you can hit the bananas. So you're basically using everything that you learned on the other 2 levels.
Yeah, totally.
I think that's a very teaching the player and then challenging him with everything that you taught him during the later levels. I believe that's very common game design, but also, as you said, sometimes it's a little bit overlooked.
True, it is indeed, unfortunately. But well, great game we got here. And like how is the development? I mean, we know the references, we know where it came from. For how long did you develop this game? And like how is the team size? It's just to get a little bit more info on what it takes to produce such a polished and well-made game like this one.
Okay. As I said, we began with 4 people, 5 if you count the musician. That's Eddie Saporsky. He actually is from Curitiba, so he doesn't work locally with us.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't supposed to say that, but I got that got me by surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. So now our team has nearly 10 people and a few collaborators. So the team grew a lot during development, which was great because I don't think we would have achieved this level of polishedness if we were still on our own. Because
oh my god,
being in an indie company, we end up like wearing a lot of different hats. So we have to do a lot of things besides developing the game.
Yeah, totally. Like not having a huge, immense team is hard. It's always hard, and the smaller the team, the harder it is. So yeah, it's good to have more people to back you up. Totally.
Yeah. But well, as I said, the first prototype was in 2015. So we took a lot of time to learn to work as a team and learn to manage other people as well, and also have the money, the assets to start working on the game properly.
Yeah, that's always a thing as well, right? Like
there's a hero from Songs of a Hero.
Yeah.
That's the game landed up.
Yeah, I was getting that reference and I was like, what? So yeah. Wait, sorry. Just keep on.
No, we are friends with a lot of companies here from Rio. So Double Dash is a company from Rio. So we put a few cameos in the game.
It's good to have that, right? Like we've got some games filled up with references as well. But like I don't know, it's just a reinforcement to the community that we have to build to survive as an indie here in Brazil.
Exactly. And it's also an exchange because they put Racket Boy in the game as well.
Awesome.
So we were always like referencing each other.
Okay.
But anyway, in 2017 we had the opportunity to apply for the government grant from Cine. That's the Brazilian film agency here. So we finally got them. We actually got it, and when we got the money in 2018, that's when we finally started to really develop the game. You know, go beyond the the prototype and
Okay.
the other polished demos that we did during the other 3 years that we were like growing as a company.
Yeah, we've had this this live stream once talking about like governmental support and you know like these this kind of actions that people from outside the industry might not understand why they are a thing or why they are so important to the industry. But once you've been in this place of like trying to survive and make games, and it's a very risky and you know, I don't know, I wouldn't say dangerous, but it is kind of crazy in a way. Like you don't have guarantees at all.
Sure.
So it's a hell of a change when you have some kind of support, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's very important for the whole industry, actually. I think that only now we're gonna see what games are coming out from that grant. And I think we're gonna see a lot of good things.
Yeah, totally. Like this is a game that came from this kind of incentive, and it's just a blast for playing and looking at, you know. So I don't know. It's just. I think that if you have an opportunity to make one game like this one be a thing, it's worthy. You know, it's just you shouldn't let that pass on as a country, as I don't know, an industry, as someone who supports games. It's just worth having it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's kind of obvious, you know, because not all of them are going to be winners.
Totally.
But if you have a few that are really good and they bring attention to the industry, to the Brazilian industry, that's already worth it.
Totally. And you know, it's about opportunities. Like you gotta have opportunities to have a few of them right, you know, and a few of them like really get to shine and you know, move some. Oh gosh. Okay, as I said, I'm bad, so this was expected. But anyway, you just gotta give people opportunity to show their talents, and that's just not happening if you don't get the money to do things.
Yeah.
Because you know, working for free isn't like ideal, and we gotta eat and pay our bills and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. We always play around here that you know, developing games is starving with style.
Totally, yeah, totally. But it shouldn't be, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's obviously a joke, but you know, it shouldn't be like that. So anyway, it's just hard to be in the market, and it's great to have some kind of support every once in a while.
Yeah. And as you said, you know, people from outside the industry sometimes they don't understand this. So they actually don't even know that this kind of action from the government that also happens in other countries, and countries that have that because of that have developed a very, you know, solid industry like that happened in Poland. You know, it happens in France, and it happens in Canada. We were at GDC last year, and it was really funny talking to the guys from the United States. We were at this event that was from Canada. It was like the Canadian government showing their games that were funded by the government, and the people from the United States there, they were very jealous of that government grant, because that's something that doesn't happen there.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it once did for the United States. Like it's not a thing anymore. Not as strong, at least. But it used to be. You know, we like to say that we don't know an example of a country that has like a strong developed market for like an industry of video games that didn't have any kind of support at any point in the history. You know, like and normally you see that the more support the government or whatever gives to the industry, the stronger it is, and
Sure.
the more independent it becomes in the future, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the thing. But oh my god, like, these.
You're having trouble with the raccoons there.
Yeah, the raccoons are like crazy hard thing. Okay, I gotta use them to hit. Damn it! Nope. Okay. I won't die. I won't die. I believe I'm not gonna die. I have faith. Hit him! God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna die. I'm pretty confident I'm gonna die right now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, okay, I'm dead. No, I'm not dead. Not dead. Okay. I got one last chance. Oh, I wish it was better. Yes, I did it. Oh. Okay, good. Sorry, I had to focus a little bit here. This
it's hard to talk and play at the same time.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I already have trouble doing it with Outer Space that is like pretty chill compared to this. But this game, like, since it has a lot going on, sometimes it's hard to not completely focus, you know, to be not completely focused. But anyway, oh, amazing, amazing, just amazing.
So I was talking about the thing about the skills on the game, that it's only skill based by the player, but you also get these buddies that help you during the game, and they are, I think they're the closest thing to character leveling up that you have in the game, because whenever you go to a new world, you always get to meet a new buddy, and these different buddies have different attacks, different skills.
And I should get back to the other world to get my elephant back if I wish. Is that it?
Yeah, if you want, you can. But they're gonna show. But now they're gonna show up during the game. Sometimes they're gonna come floating in the...
Okay. So finding them the first time is like unlocking the possibility of a powered up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Oh, that's amazing.
We have 4 different buddies in the game, and they kind of change the way you can play the game. And also, you can replay the levels, trying to do the missions. And if you complete all the missions, you get the true ending and the secret boss, the secret final boss.
Oh, secret boss. Like, I have a lot of, I know a lot of people in the community that would be totally into this. Those crazy guys, like, finding out all the secrets in every game we have. Some people might even ask us for more secrets. Can you believe that? Like, what? It's a secret, man. Come on. But, yeah, some people dig into this really hard. Like, do you think it's worth having like secrets in the game? Obviously, you do, but I like to think the opinion of, like, you know, some people are afraid of having some members, like some players, not consuming everything they designed or they developed in the game, and I'm almost killing myself on purpose here. It looks like I am, but I'm not.
You know, I think that's gonna happen one way or the other, because you're always gonna have a lot of players that don't play the entire game.
Yeah, true.
So if you have secrets, you have a way to reward players that play everything. I think that's something that a lot of players love having. You know, there are people that are are completionists, and I think that encouraging this kind of players can give you like a very solid fan base.
True.
For shooting when we're doing that. Also, it's really cool, you know.
It's just cool to have it, right?
Secrets are an intrinsic part of video games, I think. Ever since, you know, the Atari days, you had ways of finding secrets in some games that could unlock even something as basic as a credits screen. But then after the NES and Master System, you know, the 8 and 16-bit era, I believe secrets just became like this very fun part of video games that you don't have in any other medium.
Yeah, true.
I mean, you don't have secret pages in a book.
Oh, that isn't like a bad idea to have, like thinking about it now, but you don't usually see that, right?
I don't know.
No, come here.
I think that's part of you know, that's part of curiosity, you know. People like some people like, you know, knowing more about stuff they like. I believe that's why nowadays you have so many YouTube channels that talk about movies, talk about things that are outside the movie or whatever media that you're looking at.
Yeah, true. Yeah, this is trippy as hell. I'm going crazy here, but it's awesome. Like in all those like visual details and the audio and all that kind of stuff, like it's very inspiring. Like you guys clearly put some not only effort but love in here, right? Like,
yeah.
Are you like very passionate about this kind of aesthetic, or was this only a very strong effort in like referencing and, you know, studying the style of arcade games?
I think both, actually, because, you know, we all, I mean, at least part of the team always loved this kind of games. I grew up playing, practically playing the Sega Master System, Sega Genesis. Lucas grew up playing Super Nintendo. And also after we started working together, we used to, you know, trade a lot of information, games that I played as a kid and played games that he played as a kid. Rubbed off, you know, on everyone, I believe.
Oh god. Yeah, but it shows, you know. It's very clear that you guys had some passion with this. It's not only obviously the capabilities of the team, like okay, they did a like they put some effort in here and are talented people. But it shows, you know. It's hard. Like it becomes clear when you have someone that's just replicating something, and someone that like really feels and maybe misses this kind of aesthetic, you know. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna dig into this like for quite some time. I can see it. But before I just start not being able to talk at all, because it's just the game is draining every attention I have, I'm just gonna like firstly thank you for the opportunity of like being here. I wish we can have some more opportunities like this in the future, like talking to each other and discussing game development in general. I don't know, it's good to know that you guys were so open to be sharing this and having this conversation with us.
Sure, of course.
So people, if you're watching this and you liked what you've just seen, believe me, it's so good to play. It's very polished and very fluid, and I don't know, people that like this genre will totally dig into this. And would you like to say anything else before we end up the stream?
Oh, can I plug the game?
What?
Can I plug the game? Like we
Sure.
launched it on
Sure.
October 22, and we're on Steam. So whoever likes this kind of games, or just likes playing a fun game with this is a very fun game to play cooperatively. If you have a friend or whoever that likes to play with you, this is a great game to play together. Just buy the game on Steam and give us a review. That always helps a lot on a success of a game.
Yeah, totally. Go support indie games, go support good indie games, and in this case particular, go support Brazilian indie games and this game, which is very good.
And it's cheaper than a pizza, so...
It's cheaper than a pizza, true, indeed.
And whoever wants, also you're all invited for our Discord channel. We're talking about the game. We talk about game development there. So everyone is invited to participate.
Oh yeah, talking about that, like we can't. I don't have a way to link it. You can send it in the chat if you want the link for the Discord chat. I know that someone else in the team is watching the stream right now, so you can do it. You're totally allowed to. And we could also, like, if you want to link it to me, the Discord channel, I can repost it in the live stream channel that we have on our server at Discord, so people that are watching here and that are already a part of our community can also be a part of their community because they're awesome.
Sure, I'll link the link here. Second. There you go.
Okay. Okay, maybe it did work. Maybe I did not allow links.
Let me send you through Discord.
Yeah, I think it's better. So, well, okay. So I think I can post myself here. Let me just copy this link, and I'm gonna post it right here. And I can't. God damn it. Okay, there you go. So there's the link.
And also, I've sent you the Steam page as well. We're launching today the soundtrack. You'll see you can buy the soundtrack of the game. We're very proud of the soundtrack.
It is very good.
We've got some very catchy tunes.
Yeah, it is very good. I was listening to it, not exactly the soundtrack, but I was listening to the menu song, and it was just awesome. Like I had the game open while I was setting up the things for the stream, and I just kept on listening to it, and it's very groovy, very good.
Again, we have a lot of different references in this game. That track particularly, that was very inspired by Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It has this very kind of jazzy, lounge.
Yeah, it does.
Thing.
It does. It's clear actually. Like now you talked about it, I can just remember myself playing that game, and it was like the same feels of it. Yeah, very good. So yeah, well, thank you once again to being able to talk to us here. Feel welcome to talk to us in our Discord or to I don't know, bring up whatever crazy idea you have. Just to be open here, I didn't have much time to plan this stream, so I approached these guys earlier today. So they were like, okay, today, all right, okay, that's good. Let's do it. And it's thank you once again. That's awesome. And well,
sure. You can invite us anytime you want. This is great.
Yeah, I just hope we have more opportunities to share a little bit of our experiences together. And thank you for the game. Congratulations on the launching. I know it's been a while now, but congratulations for all of it. It's awesome. It's an amazing game. Go check it, guys. And well, that's it. Thank you all for watching. And well, we'll see you you all next week on our regular live streams about outer space. And eventually, we'll bring up yet another awesome indie Brazilian game to show you all. All right, so bye bye. See ya.
Thanks.
And